Hello, everyone. I just wanted to, before we get started, let you know that I am moving where I record just because I think I prefer to stand up. So I'm in my kitchen. So it looks a little bit different. Same content though. So let's get started. So today we're talking about empowered conversations, and I'm wanting to know if you have ever found yourself saying things like, why don't my kids ever listen to me? Why am I feeling like I'm not being heard? Am I talking to myself? You're not alone in that. And if you have ever ended a conversation thinking, what the hell just happened? That did not go the way that I intended. You're definitely not alone in that. Most of us did not grow up seeing what healthy, emotionally connected communication actually looks like. We're learning it as adults while raising our children at the same time. And in today's world with constant stress, overstimulation, emotional fatigue, the ability to stay calm and connected during a hard conversation is being tested more than ever. I'm Julie Cornish, and I'm the founder of the Rewired Parent, a place where we are transforming our parenting from the inside out. So let's talk about why conversations break down. Because it's not just about what we say, it's about what's happening inside when we say it. You might be trying to set a boundary or ask your child to help or talk about school, and suddenly your calm goes out the window. You feel tense, you feel defensive, or you shut down. And before you know it, your kid is feeling that. You're in a power struggle, you're in an emotional standoff. Does this sound familiar? It does for me. This isn't because you're a bad parent or because you don't know what to say. It's because your nervous system and your child's nervous system go into survival mode. When your bodies sense a threat, whether or not it is a physical threat or an emotional threat, you're going to move to that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And that means that part of your brain that can listen, that can empathize, that can problem solve goes offline, goes out the window. So conversations break down not because you don't care, not because you are not a kind, compassionate person, but it's because your brain goes offline, because you don't feel safe, because your child doesn't feel safe. And when that happens, we often fall into two patterns, either that power over or that power under. And I have talked about this in other videos, and I will link those at the end. That power struggle, that because I said so, or that stop arguing, or I'm the parent, listen to me. And that type of energy is that conversation, that power over really comes from fear. It comes from needing to regain control. It comes from frustration. It comes from not having our needs met. And so often, if we're not in that power over, we fall into that power under when you're just kind of giving up. You're saying, fine, whatever, do what you want, it's not worth it, or you're just giving in to avoid conflict. And that's coming from the same place. It's coming from fear, it's coming from that loss of connection, and it's often coming from just giving up because your needs aren't going to be met. And those strategies aren't wrong, it's just a protective strategy that your brain has learned to survive. And they do not create emotional safety. They create disconnection and dysregulation. And that's where self awareness comes in. Bringing in that self awareness before a conversation is so important. I recently heard a story that I really liked. It's about walking through a college campus. You're carrying a cup of coffee. Somebody runs into you and you spill your coffee. And the question is, why did you spill your coffee? And obvious answer, right? Somebody ran into you, you dumped your coffee. And the professor says, well, you dumped your coffee because you had coffee in your cup. Had you had water in your cup, you would have dumped water. Had you had orange juice in your cup, you would have dumped orange juice. So what is the point of that? The point is that when you're triggered or that when you're pushed, what is spilling out of you was what was already there. If you're having a conversation and anger is coming out, a frustration is coming out, sadness is coming out, that's what was under the surface. It's not the other person who caused you to react. It's not your child that is causing you that anger and that frustration. It's what was already within. And that's why awareness before a conversation is everything. Before you enter a conversation, it is so important to ask yourself, what is in my cup right now? Am I carrying tension? Am I carrying fear? Am I frustrated? Or am I coming from a place of calm and curiosity and compassion? Am I looking at my child or my partner with so much love and understanding that we are going to be able to have a conversation that is open and constructive? So, we're going to talk now about the first three steps of an empowered conversation. How can we have an empowered conversation with our child, with our partner, with anybody, where we are coming from a place of awareness? We are coming from a place of compassion and understanding and curiosity. And that is going to all start with checking what is in your cup before you begin. And that's step one, and that's connect. And that's connecting with yourself. Before you speak, you pause. And you can do a grounding exercise. I've said it before. Mine's feet flat on the ground, hands on the counter, and breathing into your heart. Coming out of your head, checking in with yourself. How are you feeling? Breathing into your heart. Few nice deep breaths. Are you coming from a place of fear and frustration? Are you looking at your child like they're just trying to make your life more difficult? Because God knows it feels like that so often. Or are you looking at your child with love and compassion and trying to understand where they're coming from? So, taking that moment, connecting with yourself, are you in a place for conversation right now? Step two is consent. I know that sounds interesting. You're going to ask your child to consent to a conversation, but asking permission, hey, are you open to have a conversation right now? This tells your child that you respect their boundaries matter, that their voice matters, and that what they want right now also matters. And if they say no, that's okay. They're not ready right now, and you can come back later. That's modeling emotional respect. And I know it's going to be difficult if you're ready to have this conversation. You're coming to your child, and like, let's have a conversation. And they say no. That's part of it. They're probably going to come back to you fairly quickly to have that conversation because they're going to feel respected. Step three is intention. Before you dive in, you need to check your why. Why are you trying to have this conversation with your child? Are you trying to control? Are you trying to fix them? Are you trying to punish? Are you trying to push your agenda on your child? Or are you problem solving together? Are you coming with curiosity? Are you wanting to know what's happening for them and what they're wanting? When you set an intention for connection, the whole tone shifts, your body language shifts, your voice shifts. So we want to make sure that we're going into that conversation with compassion and curiosity. And these three steps help you clear what's in your cup before you get started, before you start pouring that out. You're going to know what's there. And the truth is, if you're not perfect, if you go into this and you still get a little upset or it still goes off the rail, that's okay. We're not going for perfection. We are going and we are moving forward to try to do our best and to model what it looks like to keep trying for our children. And here's the truth, you're not going to do this perfectly. It's never about perfection. None of us do anything perfectly. There will be a moment of reactivity, and there will be times when your voice gets sharp and your child slams the door and they yell and you yell. But when you remember these steps and you return to connection instead of control, and you're already beginning to rewire, we just keep trying, just like you teach your kids. We're not getting it perfect. We're adults, we're still learning. My 5-year-old says that to me a lot. When I apologize to him, he says, "It's okay, Mom, you're still learning." I'm like, "Thanks, bud. You're right. I'm still learning." And you're teaching your nervous system and your child's nervous system that it's safe to stay connected even when things get messy. even when they don't go as planned. And that is emotional leadership. That's the heart of conscious and aware parenting. So, in the next video, we're going to dive into the 10 steps of empowered conversation. This is going to be a 3 kind of series of videos about conversation and empowered conversations. And I would love to hear from you today about what part of a conversation feels hard for you. Is it staying calm? Is it feeling like you're being heard? Or is it just knowing what to say? And in that next video, I will also provide a handout where you can kind of write out that conversation to really help you stay on track. And that's going to give that honest reflection and help you communicate in the clearest possible way. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, I'll be doing a map session on conversations and blocks that make communication feel unsafe, reactivity, shutting down, and fear of being heard. So that map session will be coming after the next video. And as always, if this was helpful, if you want to be connected for when the next video comes out, for when those map sessions come out, please like and subscribe, and you'll be in the know when those are ready. And I have some other map sessions available right now. And if you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about when I'm saying map, I will also in the description put a video about what map is. It's a way to rewire your subconscious mind to get rid of all patterns and blocks that are preventing you from growing and moving forward. And as always, I just want to remind you that your healing matters, your growth matters, and you matter deeply. So keep showing up, keep doing the work, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I hope you have a great day.